Hey everybody, it's John Hope Bryant, founder, chairman, CEO of Operation Hope, also author of How the Poor Can Save Capitalism. Had to think about my own book for a minute. Rebuilding the Path of the Middle Class. The solution for the 100%. I'm going to talk about the 100% today, not the 99%, not the 1% that we know so well about. The 99% have every reason to be upset. The 1% have every reason to be protective, but none of that's going to work. We need a solution for everybody. So I want you to sign on. I want you to sign in. I want you to add your comments. I'm going to try to recognize folks as they sign in. I'm at my office in downtown Atlanta, and I'm going to answer some questions today. But I'm going to unpack the economy for you. I've got my boy Tommy Dortch, an entrepreneur here in Atlanta, showing up in a moment. I got another guy, Cedric, young entrepreneur, showing up here in a couple hours. A young man who found my wallet. Then I found his wallet, oddly enough, and then he started an ice cream truck business. He's a solution. He and Tommy Dortch are sort of the solution for this country. So I want you to read, to get back into reading books, right? People sort of, it's a conspiracy to keep us from reading books, I think. We think that reading is TMZ. It's not. They think reading, is watching Housewives or whatever. It's not, right? That's not even reading, that's watching, right? So I need you to read a book. Chris Rock said, if you want to hide something from a criminal, put it in a book, because crooks don't read. They'll never go looking in a book in your house. I want you to learn to read and take your life back. And I'm talking to everybody now. We need to get back. I have a library in my house. Get back to reading. I love reading. One of the books I read was How the Poor Can Save. Well, I read my own book, but I read The Coming Jobs War by Jim Clifton, which is a fantastic book. I see folks signing in. Hello, Jared, and Uriah, and Benjamin, and I think it's Z, and Vaughn, and Tyrone, and William Page. Okay, Carl. So let me get into this, because I got a meeting show up here in a minute, and can only stall him for so long. He's an entrepreneur. He would just leave. So his time is money. So this is really important. Where do jobs come from? I'm going to unpack this mystery for you, and where are they going? If you haven't seen this graph I put on my Facebook page last night, go back later after this and watch this graph, all right? This photo I put of where jobs are going from. Here's where jobs come from. Get a pen, write it down. I'm going to do what Ambassador Young says and slow down my speak so that I don't walk past you. I see a lot of people saying, yeah, slow down your speak. So I'm going to try to slow it down so that you can get all of the data. All right, there's 7 billion people in the world, give or take. The world's economy is $65 trillion in global economic GDP, gross domestic product, give or take, 64 trillion in the world. Of that, America is 17 trillion. We're a fourth of all the economy. So don't let anybody tell you that it should be strong. It's not my fault. Where I'm in my office, there's a Wi-Fi connection. It says my connection is weak. I don't know what to tell you, but Atlanta needs to increase its Wi-Fi connectivity. Wi-Fi is the way of the world. So I'm back, okay? I'm not going to give up on you. Okay, so there's 7 billion people in the world, give or take. Population control, population management, I mean in a positive way, meaning having babies and abstinence and all that stuff. I'll talk about it another time, because we just can't keep growing the population and outstripping the planet. But 7 billion people, give or take. $64 trillion, give or take, in GDP in the world. America is a fourth of that, 17 trillion. Don't let anybody tell you America's done. We're lost. We're an also-ran. Not true. You can take China's GDP and 3 or 4 other big countries, put it inside of our economy, and still have room together, right? We're a big, incredible country. Now, we have 350 million people in this country, at least the ones that are officially counted, right? Of that you have, and here's where the numbers get interesting. Is that my man Tommy Dortch?
That's right.
The great entrepreneur. Come on over here, Tommy.
For duty.
Come wave at the folks. We're live on Facebook
right.
Live at 3.5 million viewers and
That's
growing.
Right.
This is a great entrepreneur.
million plus one more.
That's right. This is my boy Tommy Dortch, a great entrepreneur. I'm going to talk about him in a moment. So, Tom, you can sit there if you want to.
All right, I'm good.
I'm going to give some stats.
All right.
All right, and I'm going to want you to talk about where you fit in. So 350 million people, about 26 million companies in America. Okay, start writing this down. Of 350 million people, 26 million companies in America, how many employ one person or more? I'm going to give you the answer. 6 million. The rest of those companies are the products of mergers, tax shelters, acquisitions. They're just corporations sitting aside, mostly for tax purposes. So 6 million companies, the largest economy in the world now, are all the employees in this country. Now get that in the largest economy in the world. Now check this out. Of the 6 million, 3.8 million of those employ 4 people or more. Or less. Of the 6 million, of the 26 million, of the 350 million people in this country, of the 7 billion people in this world, and the largest economy in the world, the thing driving this economy, 3.8 million of those jobs come from companies with 4 employees or less. Think about your local barber. Think about the local nail salon. Think about, the local, what do we got? The dentist's office.
Yeah. Little convenience store.
Small attorney's office, right? Right?
Mm-hmm.
A lot of vendors, the janitorial services.
So
and,
true.
Yeah, so another million of those 6 million employ less than 10 people. All right? So here's the drop the mic moment, because I just want to get to the crux of this. There are 18,000 companies that employ 1,000 to 10,000 people, but there are 974 companies that employ more than 10,000 people. There's only 974 companies in the largest economy in the world that employ more than 10,000 people. So here's what we tell our kids. This is I'm back. All right? I told you I'm not leaving anywhere. Tommy and I are just talking about the economy and how people are mystified and then feel frustrated because they don't know where the economy comes from. They don't know how this miracle exists, and so they think that because they don't understand it, it's not working for them. It must be a conspiracy against them, and I want to unpack that and demystify it. Esquatch, sign in, Dewylon, Carnell, Vance, a lot of people just signing in. Okay, so I was at 974 businesses employing 10,000 people or more. So here's what we tell our kids. Go to 2K through 12. Graduate. Great, do that. Go to college. Great, do that. Tommy is a big supporter of HBCUs, historically black colleges and universities. And then we tell them to go, unfortunately, go work for a big company or government, neither of which are hiring. Or paying well. And then we wonder why kids drop out of school. And then we wonder why our kids go to college to get a degree in basket weaving or in historical or whatever, and you can't get a job because we're not connecting the degree with the job.
Right.
And if you want to make sure you're poor in this country, drop out of school, drop out of high school. And you just can't get a qualified job, because even to compete today you need to have a college degree if you want to become a job to get a job. I'm now talking about the things that will save America, which is to create a job. So if there's 974 companies, you can name them: Wells Fargo, Bank of America, Google, Walmart, Coca-Cola, Facebook. You can the fact you can name these companies is a problem. That's a problem, right? Because they aren't hiring. They don't grow based on people. They grow based on efficiencies. Don't get mad at them. And they're cutting. Don't get mad at them. They don't grow based on hiring more people. No. Who grows based on hiring more people? Small businesses. So the growth, where all jobs growth comes from in this country, small businesses, startups, shoot-ups, and really these small business incubators from years 3 through year 7, that's where all job growth comes from. Think about your week, ladies. You went to a nail salon, 5 people in the nail salon.
Right.
Guys, you went to a barbershop, 4 people in the barbershop working. Somebody went to a dentist this week, I hope. 4 people in the dentist. It's all around you, right? So every big company was once a small one. So now let me shift. So that's where jobs come from. Those are the numbers, right? For the largest economy in the world. Now let's shift. So what do we need now, by the way? Another number. America needs 1 million startups a year in order to keep. There's never been a global leader that wasn't an economic leader. To quote my friend Shimon Peres in Israel, even if you want to distribute money like a socialist, you got to first collect money like a capitalist. You can't give away what you don't have. Is that right? Even the government can't print money. I don't care what Donald Trump says.
We're just borrowing.
You're borrowing money, and the only way you pay that back is through taxpayers. And 92% of our jobs in America are private sector jobs, not government jobs. People like Tommy Dortch, who are creating employment. So there's 450,000 small business deaths every year. There are 400,000 small business startups every year. Now, for the first time in our lifetime, in our parents' lifetime, the numbers have crossed. There used to be more small business startups, people like me and Tommy, than small business deaths by a long shot. We just grew businesses, started things, created with new ideas, and then we lost hope. We lost our storyline. We started thinking that wealth came from rich people. It does not. Rich wealth comes from poor people, immigrants, people who come here with a dream, who start from nothing, who build it from nothing to something. That's where wealth comes from. What's that joke? The first generation makes it. The second generation spends it. The third generation loses it. Right? By the way, I started talking fast again. I'm sorry. I'm trying to get through this video quickly because Tommy's going to walk out on my read if I don't get to this meeting. And I know that you have to get back to work. So for the first time in American history, we got more small business deaths than small business births. That means our story is over. If we don't solve that, we're toast. We're done. We are our role as a leader in the world is done because you cannot grow an economy. You can't give away money through philanthropy. You cannot have embassies around the world. You cannot donate foreign aid to Africa or whatever if you're broke. Okay? You say you hang around 9 broke people, you'll be the 10th. Right? So I want you to become an entrepreneur. We need 1 million entrepreneurs a year. That means there's a deficit of 600,000 entrepreneurs a year. That's what Tommy and I are working on, trying to spur a new generation of civil rights leaders. And so let me now flip to where the future of jobs. I put up a graph on Facebook last night. Go watch it, right? My friend Art Bilger, I want to give him some love. He's trying to really focus on the problem with the declining middle class, with struggling wages, with jobs that are going away. Here are the numbers. In 20 years, 47% of all jobs will be lost to technology.
Right.
In 20 years' time, 47% of all current jobs will be lost to technology. That's not racism. That's not discrimination. Yeah, racism is real. Discrimination is real. Folks don't know you, and if they don't like you, and if they're predisposed not to be comfortable with you, they're not going to hire you first. That's just the way of the world, all right? So get used to it, but go around it, over it, through it. You're going to get to it. So yeah, if you're born black in America, you're born on probation. You got to be twice as smart, twice as intelligent, twice as well dressed, twice as prepared. Get up twice as early, stay up twice as late. You got to hustle. You got to be like Tommy and I. You got to be an entrepreneur. An entrepreneur works 18 hours a day to keep from getting a job.
No vacations.
No vacations. But we love what we do, don't we?
That's right.
So what do we mean by that? So I'm in the airport, and I saw a Burger King. I'm not picking on Burger King. This is just one of the businesses. It used to have 10 people behind the counter, 4 people at the counter, and then another whatever, flipping burgers and all that kind of stuff. Now there's 3 people working there because now there's a computer up front, and you just plug in your order on the computer. I'm at Wells Fargo yesterday at a meeting in LA. And first of all, Wells Fargo was a guy named Wells and a guy named Fargo way back when, and they used to also be part of American Express. That was a small business. But time I came out of the parking garage, there used to be a lady. She, for 10 years, this Hispanic lady worked there in that booth. There's 2 of them. But this lady remembers, every time she'd be there, she'd get my money, she'd get my change, validate my parking, I'm gone.
No,
Tommy,
it's a machine.
It's a machine, Tommy.
Right.
I'm going to put the picture up. As of yesterday, it's a machine. No fanfare, no. I don't know what she's doing, but she's had to find some new skills and go do something else because that job is gone. It's not coming back. It's not coming back. So Donald Trump saying that Hispanics took your job is a lie. That Hispanic lady just lost her job. Saying that blacks are your problem or whoever's your problem, all this blame stuff is ridiculous. That job it left America. Those game. So I'm about to wrap this up. I'm going to acknowledge some of the folks on the comments. Let Tommy say a couple words and wrap this up. I hope you've enjoyed this today. But Donald Trump, or as my wife calls Donald Chump, he's just lying to America. He says to you that all these jobs went offshore. We can come get those jobs back. They went all to China. We can get them back. That's a lie.
Look at the way he makes his ties.
By the way, he makes his ties in China. He makes his clothes in China. I mean, you want to really unpack 90% of the stuff he walks around with is from China. Anyway, those jobs, they left America, yes, but they're being done by some computer in Taiwan. So those 100 jobs in that little town in Pennsylvania became 4 jobs manned by a computer in Taiwan or South Korea, or 400 people in China making $2 a day. Do you want to make $2? Is that your ambition? Get a job back so you make $2 a day? I don't think so. So look, we got to deal with the reality that those towns, those jobs in those small towns are going away. We got to create a new economy in that small town. So here's a myth that rich people are responsible for everything. No, not true. Poor people are. Because everything that was created for the wealthy only became commoditized and successful when the poor took it on. The microwave was a toy for the rich. Oh, yeah. But only when the middle class people took it on. The car was a toy for the rich. Refrigerators was a toy for the rich. There were inside toilets. Only the wealthy had inside toilets. All these things were originally phones, cell phones. All this stuff originally started as a toy for the wealthy, but it's only when the least of these God's children got their hands on it and we bought it in mass that the companies find it financially beneficial and sustainable. So look, the poor have more than they think they do. The working class has more power than they think they do. This guy here is an entrepreneur. I want Tommy, introduce yourself. Tell them real quick. You didn't know I was going to do this, right? No, you got to show up prepared, right?
Always prepared.
So how many employees do you have?
All right, now a little north of 700 employees.
Step in here. So
I have a little bit more than 700 employees.
Did you hear that?
In 14 states.
700 employees. I don't know what you thought sexy was before, but with 700 employees making a payroll, he's making smart sexy.
But the key was I started first with a consultant.
Atlanta is very weak. I got better connection to Africa. So Tommy, drop the mic. Tell them what you just said about jobs.
Well,
which the problem you're having.
The important thing, I'm on my way from my meeting here.
A note to Kasim Reed and say, hey man, well, let's put some more internet connections in here.
We have a new $6 billion upgrade of Hartsfield-Jackson International. We just completed a 6.2
That's the airport.
At the airport. Just completed a 6.2 billion program before, which we did 1.4 billion with African American and other minority businesses. That was 1.4 billion. We're getting ready to do another 6 billion. My biggest challenge right now, working with the airport and other teams, we've committed 37% of that 6 billion to go to African American, minority-owned, women-owned businesses. We're catching hell finding businesses to do the work.
But also find people who are for the jobs, right?
Finding people for the jobs is another. Right now, the average age of the construction worker is about 59.4 years of age. That generation is going to be moving out. The average starting salary for a person in construction on the lowest rung starts at $18 an hour and moves up.
Boom.
A power driller in New York or Detroit will make $80 an hour. Don't have to have a college
power
degree.
driller
$80 an hour.
$80 an hour. So folks run around in these suits and ties.
You better get those hands dirty.
Hello.
Because it'll build your bank accounts. Yeah. Right now, and your self-esteem, because it's about the bottom line. There are people right now, electricians, and you look at plumbers and others in that industry, you know, I pay more for them per hour than I pay for my accountants. I have some of the best accountants.
So Tommy's having a problem finding qualified minorities to be employed. That's what he's telling you.
It's there.
So what are people saying discrimination and racism, I can't get a job? He's telling you right now he's trying to hire people.
We walked away from it.
He can't find people with skills. Go back to school. You dropped out of school. You know somebody who dropped out of school. You have a cousin, boo-boo, who dropped out of school. Tell them to go back to school, drop back in, get that degree, and go get a JOB.
There are jobs everywhere. The hospitality industry, multi-billion-dollar industry. We moved because we didn't want to be, quote, servants and all. But it's amazing what jobs are there.
Yeah.
And then if you look at even hotels like Hyatt and Marriott, you start at the lower rung and move up. Most of their general managers started somewhere in food service.
The guy from tourism came over here. He said all his people came up through the system.
Right.
Atlanta Tourism Board, and most of them don't have high college degrees.
Right.
They worked hard, and now they're general managers of
making
six figures,
and
high
doing
five
well.
figures. Yeah.
And so the important thing for us is,
we'll wrap up here in a minute.
As John has said, is jobs are everywhere, but we have to create jobs, and we have to make those jobs work for us. Our problem is, and I always say it, we've been playing in somebody else's game for too long. We expect them to create jobs for us. We expect them to hire us and make a way for us.
Give us a handout.
Give us a handout. When in
they
fact,
owe us something.
All we have to do is look at our history. If you look at right here, Sweet Auburn, right around the corner from here.
We're in Atlanta, Georgia.
That was downtown Atlanta. You look at Beale Street in Memphis. You look at Raleigh, Durham. You can go all over this country long before we got the kinds of, as we say, civil rights.
Yeah.
We had the civil rights, as John has said. And what we did was we took a back row seat. So it's important for us.
We took a back row seat in our own lives.
And so nobody's going to do for us the things we can and must do for ourselves. Yeah. So we have to create jobs. I worked for the U.S. Senate for 16 years, one of the most powerful senators in Sam Nunn. I worked for George Busby. I worked for Jimmy Carter when he was governor. 22 years. And then
Republicans and Democrats.
Republicans and Democrats. Then I decided I needed a real job. You know what I did? I
created it.
In 1994, I created my first business. So anyway, with all of that, we have to understand is within us, our powers there. We have the resources. And without us, America, really, the economy fails.
That's right.
And what we have to do is control our destiny, create these jobs, control these jobs, and build our communities. I live in Southwest Atlanta.
So do I.
With John. Yeah. And we decided
we don't live together, but we live.
Yeah, we live out in the neighborhood. But it's important for us to build our communities. Why make money and get resources and go spend it for somebody else? We have to create generational wealth. We have to create opportunities in our neighborhood, and our young people need to see successful black men and women so they know they can emulate.
So we've been making dumb sexy for 20 years. We've dumbed down and celebrated it. I'm sick and tired of it. I don't know about you, but I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. And now we need to make smart sexy again. Right. So yes, the old jobs are going away. But where are the new jobs coming from? Technology, innovation. We got to create new ideas. What's the new microwave? What's the new cell phone? We will create a whole new. I think it's going to be a whole economy about saving the environment. That's a whole nother. I'm going to do a whole piece on the $1 trillion industry of saving the environment. Look, read this book, How the Poor Can Save Capitalism. It is a primer for changing your life. Follow this dude, Tommy Dortch. He is the chairman emeritus of 100 black men around this country. Really helped to create that organization and what it is today. Chairman of the Atlanta Business League for years, right? We're here talking today about the Andrew Young Legacy Initiative. We're actually meeting about giving back, although he's going to tell me he ran out of time because I've spent all this time on you. All right, well, it's been a long video. Hope you found it enjoyable. We talked about where jobs came from, where they come from, and more importantly, where they're going. I hope that we drop the mic. I'm out. Peace. Sign up. Sign in. Take your life back. Hey, Jeff. Hey, Stephanie. Hey, Jeff. Really good info, they say. Marsha Clark, Lizzie, Eric, Talbot, Esquad, Mercy, Sean, Urea, Tony, 50 other people, 100 people signed in. All right, I'm Eric. I'm gonna give you some love offline. I promise you. All right, I'll respond to every comment. Wave, Tommy. See ya. Peace out.